If you're a game dev studio looking to step into Web3, this video could be interesting for you, as I'm going to show you how to connect a typical game backend service like PlayFab to Web3. And yes, this is possible thanks to Moralis 2.0. We're going to use Unity for this, but we could do the same in Unreal and many other game engines. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into it.
What's up everyone, this is David from Barcelona and I work as a Unity content creator at Moralis. I'm also into music, bass here and drums. I enjoy cycling and practicing karate. Cheers!
Alright, so we'll be following a tutorial that you'll find in docs.moralis.io. So go right here, click on tutorials, and then click on your first dapp, and here on using Unity and PlayFab, we'll be following exactly this one. So to start, we'll be creating a new Moralis account. So click here, and if you don't have an account, you'll need to sign up right here. But as I already have one, I'll click on login, and I will be logging in. And here, after we have the account created, we'll be copying some information like our API key and some other information later. So this is what we need to do first. Great, so now that we have our Moralis account, we can go ahead and create a PlayFab one. So go here under this section and click on create a PlayFab account link, and you'll be redirected into this page. And here I recommend that you create a Microsoft account first. So you can go here on outlook.live.com, and if you click on create free account, you'll create a Microsoft one. So then in PlayFab, you can sign in with Microsoft, and this will also be helpful afterwards doing the Azure functions and configuring all that. So click on signing with Microsoft, and I already have this Hotmail account. So I'm just gonna log in using that. Doesn't need. Perfect. So here we are in PlayFab. So if you do that, you might be already have a new title here. So this is our game studio, which is automatically created. But if you don't have one like me, because I deleted before, you can go ahead here and click on new title. And I'm going to call this test title game. And that's okay. Create title. And here we have our backend. This is our backend, will be our backend for our game. So if you know PlayFab, you know how it works. And here, later on, if we go on title settings, we will need to copy some information that will display here. But this will be later on the video. All right, so as it says here, in order to run Moralis on the backend of PlayFab, we need to create some Azure Functions. And Azure Functions is a separate product from PlayFab and requires a separate account. But using the Microsoft account that we created before, this is much easier. So go in this section, click on this link, create a free Azure account. And again, we will sign in using our Microsoft account. Perfect. Login. And here, as you see, we'll need to create a new subscription. Probably you already have one, but let's create a new one in case you don't have one. And like this, we see the whole process. Let's click on subscriptions. And we're gonna add a new one. We can call this whatever, my subscription. Whoops, okay. This is good. This is our profile, mailing session. And this is the plan that let us do. And on advanced also, this is also okay. and our subscription owner. Perfect. So let's click on review and create, and let's create. Nice. So this will take a little longer, but I think in 2 minutes we'll have our subscription here. Sometimes this takes longer than expected, and it seems our subscription has not been created. But if we go to home and we create our Azure function, that this is what we want to do, go here in function app, create function app, and here we will be able to select our just created subscription. We call it my subscription. So select this and resource group. We can go here on docs to see exactly what we need to put. And we're going to type Moralis right here. Create new Moralis. Let's call this. Perfect. And function app name, Moralis Azure Functions. Okay, of course this is not available, but we're gonna call this Moralis test. Perfect. Now, what more code is good? We need to select .NET, of course, and we're gonna select the region when this loads. Important West 3, perfect. It's going to be on Windows, and the plan type needs to be serverless, so it's perfect. Let's go to next. I think hosting, this is okay. On tags, I think tags is important. We go here, review and create. Yes. We can already review and create this. Create. And we will have our function app. And now inside this, inside here, we will create our Azure functions. Okay, so we're back in our homepage, and now we need to find our created function app. And if it doesn't appear here, which is normal, you can find it by searching the name of it. We just call it Azure Moralis Azure Functions Test. Look at this, it's here. So you can click, let it load, and click on configuration. And right here, we will need to add some keys, very important keys, okay, for the setup on Moralis. So if you go to docs, you'll find all these keys here. So to start, we need to add our Moralis API key. And click here on new application setting, the name, and the value. So go to Moralis and just copy your API key. It's just here under the home. So copy it and paste it. I'm going to paste this and click OK, but I don't want to show it. So I'm just doing this. Okay, so as you see, I just added the Moralis API key right here. And now it's time for adding this key right here. Copy the name, add new application setting. This is the name, and this is the value that we need to add. Be careful on copying this how it needs to be. Okay, that's good. Okay, and now it's time for the API URL. Perfect, so copy, add new application setting, and copy this one right here without the dot, okay? Nice. And now you'll see. So here, basically, we're adding all the Moralis information, right, into Azure. And now we'll need to add PlayFab information. So go ahead, new application setting. And the title ID, if we go to PlayFab, you see that we'll find this right, is on edit title info. No, not here. I was on the good page, I think. Title settings. And this is the title ID. Okay, title ID. So under API features, I paste the title ID, perfect. As you see, all the keys are being added. And finally, the PlayFab dapp secret key. New application setting, the name. And I will find the secret key right here. It's okay, I'm gonna copy this one. And basically I'm gonna delete this title. So it's no problem if I show you guys. And paste the value right here. Okay, so yeah, so these values are secret, okay? Don't share it with anybody. And okay. And we have all the keys set. And now what we just need to do is to go ahead and, very important, click here on save, okay? So you need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new settings added. Click on save, continue. This will take a little bit, but then we will have our Azure Functions configured in Microsoft Azure. All right, so now that we have Azure Functions configured, we need to create some coding using the Moralis.NET SDK, and we're going to do that through Visual Studio Code. But first, we need to have some prerequisites installed. So first of all, we need to have the .NET SDK, and you can download this one right here. Okay, download this one, install it, and then also we need to have the Azure Functions Core tools. So you can install it from here. Well, I have 64-bit and Windows, but you can install it from here. Then, of course, Visual Studio Code. So I have Visual Studio Code right here. And then we need to have the C# extension, which we will add right now. Installing. And after that, very, very important, this one, we need to have the Azure Functions extension. So we're going to install this one. And hopefully this will install in a second. Perfect. Now you'll see that it has appeared, this Azure icon here. So just click it and click on sign in. And this is like magic. We have our Microsoft account here. So click. And if we go back to Visual Studio Code, we have what you see, our subscriptions. And this one is the one that we just created. If we go to Function App, we'll see our Function App right here. So this is working amazing. Very nice. So next, what we need to do is create a new project, a new function on the workspace. So now click on Create New Project, and we'll create a folder. Let's create a new folder for this, named, for example, not like this, Azure PlayFab Functions, yes, code. Okay, this looks good. Select, it's going to be C#. We're going to use the LTS version of .NET 6.0 and yes, we need to select HTTP trigger. And our function name, I'm gonna call this Moralis PlayFab. You'll see in a second. And this is just the namespace. I'm gonna call this namespace PlayFab Azure Functions. But you can call it. But yeah, let's call it like that. And it's gonna be a function and in our current window. And now, as you see, this new project is being created. Awesome. And we have to click on restore. Okay. And this needs to be working now. Perfect. So now it works. You always need to click on restore. And as you see, this function, well, this is just a sample test, but we will be updating, we'll be putting our functions that we want using our Moralis SDK here. But if you go here on the documentation, go a little bit further down, you'll see that first we need to add some packages to use, as you see, our Moralis SDK and also PlayFab. So copy this and go to VS Code and go to, need to find here the CS project here. And we will in item group, which is right, item group, right here, the last one. Let's paste this. Oh, we can actually paste it right here. You see, we can put this more clean and save. We click again on restore. Nice. And now we have the Moralis PlayFab C# script here. If we go to our docs, these are the functions, okay, that we're gonna add: a challenge request and challenge verify, that then we will configure to Azure Functions, and we will call this from Unity, okay? But you can take a look further to how we use the SDK and how all these functions work. But you see here we have challenge request, challenge verify. This is for the authentication, okay? That this is what we're gonna use in Unity. We're gonna authenticate using these two, calling these two functions. But then you could also get the native balance and get NFTs. So this is the power, right? We have the Moralis SDK, the .NET SDK working here. So, and then this will be on the backend. So this is the magic. And you'll see. So to go fast, what you can do is copy the whole script right here and just paste it here. Perfect. And also save it. And what I've seen is that this needs to be renamed to Moralis PlayFab, like this. Nice. All right, so now let's deploy these functions that we just created right here in a very, very easy way. So go to Resources under Azure here and Function App, and our Moralis Azure Functions Test. Click on right button and deploy to Function App. Let's wait for a second. It's thinking, and click on Deploy. And this will take a while, so we're going to wait a bit here. It looks like it's deploying, so everything is working. Awesome. So the deployment was successful. So now if we go here under and click on functions, amazing. We see all the functions already deployed right here. You see challenge request, verify, get the native balance, get NFTs, and get token balances. That's awesome. So now what we need to do is link these functions to PlayFab. And this is very easy because PlayFab supports Azure Functions. So you'll see if we go to PlayFab under automation, here, register function, we have this function name, function URL. So, as you know, here we have challenge request. So let's right click here and copy function URL. Go back to PlayFab, paste the URL, and I have already typed this. This is called challenge request, and just register the function. Nice. This is how easy it is now to link these functions to PlayFab. So do the same with all the others. Okay, that's done. So now let's learn how to call these functions from Unity. If you go to the last section of our tutorial, right here, you can download a sample project where everything is already set up. So download this and open it with Unity, and you'll find something like this. If you go to scenes, sample scene, you'll find this nice sample scene already created for you. But of course, first we need to log into PlayFab. The SDK is already installed, so you could log in by clicking on Window, PlayFab, and Editor Extensions. But this plugin for Unity doesn't support the Microsoft account. So for us, that we just, that we did all the process with the Microsoft account, we need to go to PlayFab, make PlayFab shared settings, open this in the inspector, and go to PlayFab again, go to title, settings, API features, copy your title ID, go to Unity, paste it here, and now go to your secret key, copy it. Remember, don't share it if you have this PlayFab backend, and paste it here, developer secret key. This way we don't need to log in through here because we already set everything that we need up. All right, so I think it's time to finally test this. So hit on play and click on play as a guest. And voila, here we are logged in. And if you look at the ID, if you go to PlayFab, on players, hit on search, here we have is the same ID. So that's very nice, but that's not all, because if we go back to Unity and click on connect wallet and connect, and scan the QR code with your preferred wallet. In my case, I'm going to use MetaMask right here. Let's see if I can scan the code. Okay, so the network is a bit slow at the moment, but at some point, I guess this will pop up. Right, clicking on connect. But yes, very slow. Now the sign message pops in. So I'm signing. Also very, very slow. And nothing happens because it goes back to the same part of the scene. But now if I go to PlayFab again and I click on player data, here I have actually my wallet data, my address here, and my chain ID. I just logged in with Ethereum mainnet, and also my Moralis profile ID. So that's awesome. Now, as you see, we have all our blockchain data in our PlayFab backend. So how this happens, if you want to know how this exactly happens, you can go here on the docs and go just a bit on top on the last section. Sorry guys, so this is the last section, okay? This is the last section. If you open it up after logging in to PlayFab, here you can see, okay, how everything works. So go through that, but basically I can show you, we can stop this, that all this happens under Moralis Web3 auth service. So after logging in, what we're doing is calling, if you remember, we're using this PlayFab Cloud Script API execute function. We're basically calling the challenge request and then challenge verify to sign the message, and first to request with our address and with our chain ID. And if you remember, these are the functions that we're calling right here. Sorry, these ones, but you can see it under Moralis PlayFab right here, okay? So, yeah, this is awesome. In this way, we can have our Moralis.net in the backend and configured in the Azure Functions. And because PlayFab supports this on automation, we just wired up all this, and it's truly powerful. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys like this one. I think this is the next step. We're going through this, and it's super powerful. Okay guys, see you on the next one.